And welcome to another edition of Sports Up and Level Sports Edition. I'm here with Osiris, Matt, myself, Thurman. Congratulations are definitely in order for the Philadelphia Eagles as they beat the living crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs, 40-22. Now, before we begin, it's important that I eat some crow today, and so Cyrus, you get to start it off.
Thurman, I was thinking about you since the moment the game started to the game ended to the time that we sitting here together. Thurman, it was an epic beatdown. They beat him down offensively, defensively, mentally, physically. Jalen Hurts was sensational. I remember texting you and I was like, I think he might win MVP. This is by the third quarter because of the way he was playing. He won Jalen MVP. But that defense, especially that front four, that was the real MVP. The way they destroyed Mahomes in that front line, they gave him no chance. They let him breathe. They barely let him run. I mean, it was an epic beatdown. If I was to choose between the Tampa Bay and Kansas City beatdown, this beatdown was by far the worst. Matt, take over.
From the stats, it looks like Pat Mahomes played an amazing game, but don't let the stats fool you. This was a beatdown.
Empty calories.
For sure. Pat Mahomes looked like he didn't know up from down, left from right. It was insane to watch as somebody who's watched Pat Mahomes before. Could not believe what was happening. My jaw completely hit the floor by the second pick. As I was telling them before pre-show, before halftime, I knew this was over. We come back from halftime 3-0. What are we talking about? This game's done. I couldn't explain it, so I'm going to leave that to Thurman.
Of course, one of the biggest games of the year, the offensive line didn't decide to show up. Of course, on the biggest game of the year, to me, the greatest quarterback decided to not show up. Of course, on the biggest game of the year, Andy Reid decided not to do any adjustments. Of course, at the biggest game of the year, gave us Chiefs fans PTSD from Tampa Bay.
I fought the word.
Of course, the biggest game of the year, Vegas decides. Of course, biggest game of the year, Vegas decides to be like, well,
they were doing the laughing.
Kudos to the Eagles. I gotta give props for his due. The defensive line was dominating.
It was malicious, bro.
It was very dominating. Where there was no blitz. It was just that line that was destroying Mahomes.
That front four.
The minute that Brady said, "Oh, Mahomes got happy feet," I knew it was done. The minute that he threw the pick six, I knew that the game was done.
So I was about to ask you that, Thurman. So when did you feel that the game was over?
That minute that the second that he picked six, the rookie on his birthday, and he runs it back for his touchdown, and I'm like, all right, pass for the next drink.
I was surprised.
Roll up the next.
Roll up the next block.
I was surprised you gave up right there. I went by half. I at least gave him like
no, because there was no momentum.
The whole team looked mummified. They looked shocked. Mm-hmm. They looked like their soul was snatched.
Right. They looked like
it wasn't just Mahomes.
They looked like and kudos to you two guys because you called me out on this. But they looked like how I felt 2 weeks ago when we were on this show, and I was saying, because I was rightfully so, how the Chiefs were disrespected all year. And I went on my little rant, and I was like, yo, Chiefs won it. We're going for the three-peat. We're getting the three-peat. And I think we took that for granted.
So, Thurman, how much blame you put on the Chiefs? Like, what percentage of blame you put on what?
Well, right now, 2 nights of sleep. Listening to you guys kind of bringing me to the light. I'm 40-40-20.
Okay. I'm
40% Mahomes, 40% of the offensive line, and 20% Andy Reid.
And 100% down. Okay, continue.
100%.
Well, me, it's 60-40. All right, so just to keep it a little simple, 60 on Andy Reid, 40 on Mahomes. I mean, I do it come second. I know the beatdown was first half. Came second quarter, second half. I thought you guys would come out with some type of adjustment, manipulation,
Some
of the
trickery or
pocket,
something.
but that didn't happen. So to me, it's more 60 on Reed and 40 on Mahomes. Matt?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 40. Give Reed and Pat Mahomes the same blame, because if you guys are telling me that O-line was bad all season, coming into the Super Bowl, not having these things kind of ready, not having these adjustments, I kind of have to put both on that, because it's like you just said, you should have prepared. Like, if you knew this, right, and then also I'll switch. I want to take 10%. I want to give it to that Philadelphia defense, and then high key Jalen Hurts. As I'm sitting here realizing,
100% Eagles, baby.
Right, because I'm sitting here like, one of the things you had to do was contain Saquon Barkley, and which, for the kudos to the Chiefs.
They not only contain him, they shut him down.
Right, and kudos to the Chiefs defense. But it didn't matter, because Jalen Hurts said, okay, I'm just going to throw to A.J. Brown. I'm just going to throw to Dallas Goedert. I'm just going to throw to the best receivers in the league. And he did that. And he totally picked them apart. Again, as he said, Taylor two quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts looked like the...
So I got two questions. Thurman, real quick. Does this keep Mahomes in the GOAT conversation?
You guys say pause. I say he's still young enough where he can do a tier. I to be honest with you guys, moving forward, Mahomes is still my GOAT to me.
Okay.
I mean, to me, he passed my original GOAT, which was Joe Montana. So, but Mahomes is the GOAT to me. To me, it's my opinion.
No,
I see those faces.
I was really excited as you. You take this one. That's you.
He plays. I'm gonna say it has to be put on pause, because the first half his QBR was 1. He only had 1 first down, and that was at the first play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So at least with Brady was able to manipulate the pocket when his line was failing. Him and Belichick made adjustments. That's why they won the Super Bowl. Or even when they lost the game, still Brady was able to play his way. But the beatdown was so bad that I can't sit there and say. But I'm not saying in the long run. But in the short run, no.
Pause on the GOAT conversation. I would say, I don't know. Part of me feels like he's just like, it's so. I don't even like the GOAT so early. He was even being cold, because it was like, all right, well,
I get
you know what I'm saying? It's like
his career is not over.
It's like, I feel like it just really started, and we're like, but
the man was so good.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. Pause, not pause. I don't really think. I think this was a bad quarterback. This was a bad loss. And this was a bad loss,
especially for one of the greatest.
Right. This is a bad loss. This is bad. Like coming from somebody who has a person who's like, you know what I'm saying. When you get bad losses, you got to take them. Like when your player is called the GOAT. When the losses are bad, the losses are bad.
I got a question. Do you guys think he'll bounce back from it?
Yeah, I just said because I said the GOAT. I said in the short term.
But
in the short term.
But for right now, everybody's gonna have to.
That's what I said in the short term. I'm not saying the long, because his career is not over. He's not retiring tomorrow. The Chiefs have to retool. They looked at slow and old. So obviously they may not even, I don't blame them for not getting back next year. That depends that depends on how they draft.
Mm-hmm.
And because free agency has never been a big thing for me, because you're only going to get one.
I also don't think there'll be a lot of expectation for them to come back next year.
Because you play so much games.
Right.
It's like playing like NBA. When you go deep in the playoffs so many years, eventually that organization's going to tire you out. It's going to tire you out. So that's the same thing I look at as a Chiefs. Like, you guys went ham for the last 7 years.
You did,
so that to me is impressive. You know what I'm saying? So the second question I had real quick was, since now Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, what do you think of him?
Does he pass the 4? Any one of the 4?
Yes.
I think you have to, because he has a ring.
Because he beat them all.
Which 4? Who 4?
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
And then Mahomes.
You think?
Well, not Mahomes. You kick Mahomes out there.
He's better than the 4.
The 3. Not better.
Well, the 3.
Because Mahomes.
We're gonna say he's over them because he has a ring.
Yeah, he slayed the dragon.
Okay, I'll give it that.
Whereas
I think Mahomes is more. I think Mahomes is because
he's the dragon.
Coming at the NFC is like, all right, you're gonna face whoever. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's for them. It's like you can't get out the AFC to face anybody because he's the one stopping you. I think it's more for them. It's like Jalen Hurts has a whole bunch of other people you got to worry about. But it's like
I'm still gonna look at it like that. Like, he did it and y'all didn't.
Okay, I can see that. For sure.
Bro would say that though. Bro
would probably say that's true. But
That's when I give the slight edge to Joe Burrow.
Okay.
But still, I did it. You guys didn't.
Okay.
You know,
I'm the one that beat Pat Mahomes. You guys did.
I understand, but I understand
who else did
Joe Burrow beat Mahomes.
Who else did he wait? Who did Pat Mahomes beat? Who else did he beat? It was Eagles
and Jalen Hurts.
He's beating every quarterback.
No, I mean like for the Super Bowls. It was
Jalen Hurts.
Well, you can't. Well, he beat
Jalen
Hurts. He's beating Garoppolo. He's beating Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy.
And
those are the three.
That's it.
Those are the three. Yeah.
Okay. If you
I
want
know. Like I'm expecting more rings out of him right now.
Well, that's what I say in the short term. Do I expect the Chiefs to come back and make another Super Bowl run in the next couple of years? Yes, I do.
Yes,
but what end do we be then?
Yes, and then don't forget, you're in a crazy division with some of the best quarterbacks, like literally the best quarterbacks in the league, who are young.
You mean the conference?
Conference. I'm sorry.
Even in the division now, the division is even ramping up.
Yeah, and it's like
if the Raiders get Darno.
Yeah, it depends who they get as far as
because that's rumors.
You mean Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
It depends.
But I'm not too worried about Russell.
You still got Mahomes in that.
But you got the kid, Bo Nix.
You still got.
Oh yeah.
Even though he's Herbert, and you don't know what kind of.
You still got Mahomes in that division.
He's still a top quarterback. So
one more top them.
But
one more top them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got it. As a Jalen Hurts, as a Giants fan, I have to be a professional Philadelphia Eagles hater. I will give Jalen Hurts credit where it was due. He did. I had knocks on his arm. He 1,000% shut me up every single time. I was like, oh.
As a Jet fan,
I got nothing to say.
As a Jet fan, because they wear green like us, and Thurman, and then two, like before you got on the show, I've been hearing Thurman the whole time about Kansas City since the playoffs.
Oh no! I can see why you was like, oh yeah, you got to get this big.
So this was not just a loss. This was a beatdown. He can't even say nothing about it. He can't say nothing about it.
You could have kind of said something if it was like 34-32. You know what I'm saying? You could have said something that was like, we lose by field goal, But no. You was done by the first.
So what I can say is,
Delta ass.
You need to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you guys think. Kudos to Philadelphia again. There's nothing else I can say. Gotta take my shit. But moving into a different league, moving forward, we got developing news in Dallas where Anthony Davis is suspected to be out with an abdominal strain that he was kept him out from the Laker games, and now a left abductor strain, which is expected to keep him sidelined for, I'm saying a couple of weeks, but it's really probably going to be at least a month. But meanwhile, in La La Land, Mark Williams' trade to the Lakers was rescinded after medical. The Hornets thought they got away with one.
They did.
So are we rethinking the whole trade landscape, Matt?
I don't know. Maybe for Dallas, maybe because I'm thinking now you again. Like one of the things about AD was his health, was his like availability. AD always got these small little things that would keep him away for a couple of weeks, keep him away for a month. So, you say, okay, we're going to trade for defense. I think right now, and then you think about, as we talked about pre-show, like the centers going out. Right now, it's like, all right, well, how do we move forward with now our defensive line out? The Lakers right now, they got Luka. They didn't get a big man, so they still kind of, we got Jackson Hayes, but that isn't like somebody you could really, what I'm saying? Jackson Hayes isn't somebody I'm going to go up against some of the best premier big men in the league. So we're still kind of like, the jury's out on that. I do think the Lakers can make a good run without one, probably get to the playoffs, be tough out, but I don't know if they go far and face a team like Denver, OKC without a real reliable big man.
So quick update about Dallas after the Dallas Maverick trade. Last night game, Daniel Gafford got a knee sprain injury, so he'll be out for 2 weeks and so he'll be reevaluated again. Lionel's been out with a broken ankle, so Dallas have no center. So it sucks that the injuries, especially now you said that AD's out with the abdominal strain, he'll be out for possibly maybe a month. So it sucks that the trade and the injuries kind of like intertwine with each other. But as far as the trade, I like the trade because if these guys come back, Dallas look big and defensively they look like they can make some noise. So as far as them getting into the playoffs, so Dallas to me is in win now mode. If these guys come back, the Luka trade. I'm glad they didn't get the big man from Charlotte Hornets. I understand the story behind it was because they tried to fleece him. He's injury prone and all that. I'm just glad they didn't waste money, period, on somebody that's injury prone, period. Because
you don't want that again, too.
Yeah, because to me, I'm not looking at the season. Rather, if they make it to the first round, second round, if they make it to the Western Conference Final, I think that's kind of like you went beyond your ceiling. But I'm looking into next year where you guys could put a championship roster together for Luka, and maybe if LeBron's still there. So that's what I kind of look forward to for that.
I think LeBron was stating. I think the other day somebody made a comment about LeBron, like how you feel about everything. And LeBron was like, if I'd have felt some way, I'd have waved my no trade clause and got about it.
Yeah, he's
like, you know what I'm saying? He looked like if I felt something like he looks energized. I will say, like, this is from watching LeBron for years. It's like crazy how like he's just up bouncing thing. He's talking, he's telling Luka don't fit out. And that's I remember the Kevin Love days when he told him that.
And not only on the court but outside the court. You have a foundation in LA. Like you have your studio in LA, your production, your kids, they go to school. Where are you gonna go to? You're gonna go to another team to play the end of your career,
right?
And your career as a Laker.
Yeah.
Try to make now. If say possible, you might play next year. Then play next year. Hopefully, Pelinka will put a championship roster because I hope that's the motivation having Luka there. And so, but I look forward to next year. So that's why I'm kind of glad that trade didn't go down because then you'd be stuck with that big man for years.
Well, I think the Lakers are going to play. They're playing well. They're doing good. Is it sustainable?
7 game winning streak. It's playing
9. I know. I think it's the 6. I think they're 9 of the last 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the thing that's impressing me is that they're doing what LeBron out for a couple of
AD is out for a couple of those games, and then you got the schedule right now is looking easy going towards the All-Star break. So these games are really good to kind of fit Luka in because it's like you're playing the Jazz again. You're playing like teams well below 500. So it's like you should win these games. You should be easy. Good way to integrate Luka into the offense. And you go into the Lakers did not go into the All-Star game last year like this. They were not. They were definitely still fighting for a playing spot by this time. They're clearly in 4th. I think we're going to segue into that. Tied in the lowest column. So we're going to segue into the. I want to segue into the next conversation about the East and the West. In that conversation of like the Lakers could drop. The West is so crazy. The Lakers lose 2 games and be fully out of it.
But I guess maybe that depends on the subject we talk about when you bring up the West and East. But to me, it's about your seeding because it's about matchups who you play in the playoffs. So I'm not worried about the season. So because I know they're gonna win some games, they're gonna lose some games. It's a matter of fact of how many games and wins or losses you're gonna get to start evaluating yourself the way you want to seed yourself. Because I know there's probably 1 or 2 teams that you don't want to see early.
Probably don't want to see. I mean, right now, if they played, I think they play the Rockets. I wouldn't want to see Alperen Sengun.
You want to see Denver or Oklahoma?
But I don't think they would play. I think first round they probably play Houston. If it stopped right now, first round they play Houston Rockets. I still kind of wouldn't want to see Alperen Sengun.
Houston's a tough out too.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to see Alperen Sengun without a big man of myself, without a good big man myself. I wouldn't want to see most of these teams in the first round without a good big man. I'm also on that level. The Lakers do need to get something. Maybe if there's anything, if there is anything in the bio market, I doubt that there is. But hopefully they'll be able to. I do think it is something they want to address.
And they got to see who gets waived because the trade down is over. True. But they got to see because I got to check the waive deadline, like when. And they can't.
You get another Ben Simmons.
But then he's rumored to go to the Clippers. So he came to LA, but to the Clippers.
It's crazy, right?
But the problem is that with the new CBA rule that's in effect, is depending on your luxury or whatever apron you're on, you can't get a high level.
So I don't know if they need a high level or just. I don't know if they need an A+. They may need a B. I think a B because then you got 2 A+.
And I still think that's hard.
You got 2 A+ offensive players. If I got a B+ center, I can make it. I got 2 A++ players in the front. I got a B+ center. I can make it. Is there a B+ center out there that could get waived? Is the question. Is there a B center out there that can get waived? Is the question. I am not mad at that. I am not mad at Dwight Howard because I saw what Dwight Howard did against.
If you're looking to win now, bringing
one Joker.
I'm not saying to play for the future. I'm saying if you want to win.
If you want to win now, no, I agree with you. I agree with that point.
Well, let's move things up north. Golden State Warriors look pretty damn impressive with Jimmy Butler in the lineup. How far do you guys think they can go, real quick?
Well, first of all, they got to get out the 10th seed.
Yeah.
So that's one. I'm not really hyped about the trade. Is your upgrade to Andrew Wiggins? Of course, because that's Jimmy Butler. But they're still small. They're thin. So can Jimmy Butler help win them games to maybe get out the 10th seed and maybe squeeze to the 7th because they gotta get. You definitely want to get out the play-in because you're always in the goddamn play-in. I could see them getting to the 7th seed, but it'd be a miracle for them to get to the second round.
Oof. Yeah, Golden State. I want to agree with that. Sentiment. Golden State's too small. They don't rebound well. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy Butler wins you maybe a couple more games, but for me, he didn't really move the needle as to like this is now a totally different team. It's like it's kind of an upgraded team. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I agree. I mean, Jimmy Butler had to get out. He had to get out of Miami somehow.
Like if we see playoff Jimmy, like if he if he has something to get to the playoff and we see playoff Jimmy,
right?
Like I'm not gonna say this. Oh, it's scary.
That's why.
I'll say the second round, and then be like, all right, guys, you guys made this far.
I would say that because Jimmy Butler is known for ramping up his play in the playoffs. So you want to say they would be definitely a tough first round out.
I guess that's what they're looking for.
But that first round out would probably be OKC if they probably played OKC. So I don't really know if it'd be a first. I mean, it'd be a tough out from a team like OKC in the first round, would it? You guys think if they played the first round?
They got the experience to make it a 7-game series. I think. Once you get to the 7-game series, it could be anybody.
Yeah, it's anybody.
But yeah, I think they got what it takes. They could keep up with them to a degree, at least with Steph and Butler.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Keep up with shots
scoring and somewhat defense. You know what I'm saying? Butler definitely will give you some defense, so he can slow some things down.
But they're gonna get out rebounded.
Yeah,
that's the problem. And in the playoffs, it's tough if you can't rebound. It's at least the East. In the West, and they're split in the under 500 against West team. So let's dive into this. What's the discrepancy between the two conferences? Is it that West focuses more on defense and not too much on the scoring, and then at the end of the day, the league is tailored to more offense, or is it just better teams are in the West?
I'm gonna say if I start naming off players in the West, almost all the best players are in the Western Conference. Like, there's no doubt about it. The East has always been maybe 3 good teams, and everybody else is just, fodder. You know what I'm saying? The West has always been you could lose 2 games and end up in the 9th, but you were just the 3rd seed the other day.
To me, is the West is the best. It's because of the teams, like Oklahoma being 43-9, followed by the Memphis Grizzlies 35-17. Denver Nuggets 35-19, Lakers 32-19, Houston 33-20. So I don't look at just the players. I look at it like these teams are legit on the West. So the West is stacked. So the West is the best.
Some of these low seeding Western Conference teams would be high seeds in the East, and that's always been the case.
Because here's the thing about the West, right? You can go from 1 loss, you can go from
straight to 7. Straight to 7.
So it's about so it's not about the players. To me, it's about the teams. Right?
Okay.
So it's West is the best. It's just the West is stacked.
Right, and in the East, it's always been you got your 3
Cleveland,
Boston, Knicks, and then everybody else is just.
Yeah, if I go to
I think they're the only ones with 30 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Cleveland 43-10. I think they're the only team that went like 15-0 against the West, like the only team. So that was the only team that gave the West problems. But Boston's 38-16, Knicks is 34-18, followed by the Indiana Pacers 29-22.
Mm-hmm.
Then Milwaukee's 28-24. So it's not like they could lose games and still be in the same seeding. The West is 1 loss. You might go from 3 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're in the
Lakers, if the Lakers were to lose 2 games right now, we're in the play-in.
You go from the 4 to 5th seed to the play-in.
That's what the SRE right there. So yeah, I could see to that. The teams in these conferences are very, very good, and I feel like they've always been good ever since I was been watching basketball. I loved back when LeBron was in the East, it was always like, well, who's there? You know what I'm saying?
But it came to a point. I think it came to a point that they started the East started kind of like.
I think last year like a little bit started like ramping up. The Knicks started to become really tough outs for teams and stuff like that.
But this year, I think the West is really more than dominant. For now, at least the first half of the NBA season. How about that? We still got the second half.
Still got the after All-Star game triumphant coming up.
30 games left in the NBA season. Who do you think is going to be taking it out there? So we're going to be covering the NBA throughout the whole season every week. Stay tuned. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the next time our episode is on. Now we're going to start off something new with a quick news segment where we're going to quickly hit through all the news in the sports world. And we're going to start off with the 49ers just gave off permission to Deebo Samuel Sr. Yeah, so you got to get used to that. His agent to look for a new team for the wide receiver. Well, Cyrus, what do you think about this whole 49ers mess? And what's a good fit for Deebo?
Houston Texans.
Whoa, right out the gate.
I mean, you line him up there with CJ Stroud out there, and he played between the numbers. Yeah, he'll be a great receiver for the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. So, Houston Texans.
Okay, all right. Now, for all the trades that did go through in the NBA, I believe at least all of them have played in at least 8 games. Matt, which trade had the biggest impact?
I want to say Spurs and De'Aaron Fox. I think the minute De'Aaron Fox got out there with Wemby and that Spurs team, it was an immediate click. They won that first game, and it was a gritty game too. So it showed you're getting in there, you're winning that close game. I think the Spurs got an opportunity to, make some noise, got an opportunity to upset somebody, maybe sneak into a playing game or two, and really do something. I think that Spurs trade was probably the only one where he played immediately, and you can immediately see the impact. Luka's still on minute restriction because he's kind of injured. It's up in the air about him. AD played that game, went out. So I think out of all the trade, Jimmy Butler, as we just talked about, while he may win some games, we don't really think he's a needle mover per se. I think De'Aaron Fox, out of all the trades, that one right there was the one that could really do something.
The New York Jets are moving on from Aaron Rodgers and will shop Devontae Adams. Cyrus, this is your team. What should the Jets do for quarterback? And what are the plans? What are their plans?
Trade the Titans for their number 1 pick and trade for Shedeur Sanders. That's my take. So I hope the rumors are true.
So there's rumors going galore, and once the Super Bowl hits, it's all about the draft. Nobody thinks about free agents anymore. It's all about draft. Who's going to be the new up-and-coming star, and what team are they going to? And this brings us to our editorial. What interests you? What's the interesting thing that you're getting out of this draft? What rumors are you hearing?
I'm hearing that my New York Giants are not going to draft Shedeur, and they're going to do something crazy like draft a cornerback.
I don't know why you're surprised by that.
I'm a young Giants fan, and now I'm not. But now I'm hearing that the Giants have never drafted a black quarterback ever, and I'm like, man, I'm hoping that
beg for Saquon to come back.
You know what? I'm probably better. We're probably closer to getting Saquon to come back to the Giants than we were.
Thurman, who has it worse though, him or me?
I think Giants.
I think the Giants have it worse because other than the 2 Super Bowls, they really haven't been proven to really be an inept organization. They haven't really proven themselves to be an organization that we know what we're doing because we traded away Saquon Barkley.
You didn't trade.
We gave him, we let him walk. We let Saquon Barkley walk. So it's other than the 2 Super Bowls that Eli won. What have they done? What smart things have they done? You know what I'm saying? And over those years.
As a Jets fan with the Aaron Rodgers experiment, the only beautiful moment I ever had was 9/11, the intro, the beautiful is green.
Mm-hmm.
I called it Jet Life instead of Met Life. And then 2 minutes later he goes. So that was the only beautiful moment I had.
But at least your organization seems to know what they're doing. Mine had Danny DeVito out there.
You guys been to the playoffs in the past 3 years. They haven't seen the playoffs in the past 11.
Since 2012.
That's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
All right, so
the Jets trade.
The Jets. I'm sorry, Jets could trade, which I don't understand why you guys don't even think you trade up. It's easier to trade for 4 than 1.
Because, like you said, because they're the people that's running the organization.
And not.
He's not fired. So it lets me give him whatever they ask for. For the number 1 pick to get Shedeur Sanders, give him whatever they give him the kitchen sink. You give him the plane, give him the organization plane. I don't care. Well, I'll give it to him full gas. They can keep it. I want the number 1 pick.
For Shedeur?
What?
Yeah.
That bring him in and then bring him into a New York organization.
All right, so I was going to ask you, which would you rather have, Shedeur or Cam Ward? But I know that's not even a question for you.
Yeah,
the Giants are not going to pick Shedeur.
Then, and now I'm not even. Do we even pick Cam Ward now? The thing is somebody told me that they're waiting to draft the Manning brother.
Which?
That's for Dallas.
That's what that was okay. So I said my rumors. That was a rumor that someone said that they were gonna that they were gonna bum this one not and then sign Sam Darnold and then do something like draft the Manning brother.
You're not gonna sign Sam Darnold for a 1-year contract. He played too well to get a 1 year.
I heard that was for the ain't signing one. I heard that was for Dallas.
I heard that too, but I heard the Giants also want At least one of the other Manning brothers, of course. I mean, one of them weren't one. Listen,
well, you know what?
One Manning brother never lost in the first Super Bowl. One Manning brother got to the Super Bowl and never lost. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. You know what's I'm confusing it because Daniel Jones, it was kind of like
a man in the
right, he was.
You really want that kind of.
That's one reason why I said it 3rd time. But you're right. I mean, it is.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So I was like,
do you want somebody like that again?
I would go with Cam Ward.
Okay.
If I was a Giants fan,
well,
you could,
I know what you would go with as somebody as somebody who seems smarter than the Giants front office. I know what you would go with, but I have the Giants front office to do this. I don't know what we're gonna go with. So.
Cam, I would go with Cam. I would try. I would go for Shador too. Either way, but
thanks to the Eagles, my Chiefs have the 31st pick, not the 32nd pick. So, yay!
Constellation prize.
We can't even get an offensive line number from that.
After last night, they're still picking up their pieces.
So
probably never left New Orleans.
They're picking up their wisdom.
Pat Mahomes at a bar in Bourbon Street, screaming at everybody, "Kelsey, you're back!" Yo, Chelsea dropped so much fucking pass.
Yeah, that was like.
Well, most of that was on Mahomes.
Yeah, it was like.
It was really low.
It was like Saving Private Ryan out there. They were just gunning him.
Mama.
It was just gunning him.
You know that guy who comes and he's like looking for his hands and he's like
the move.
That was Pat Mahomes, like the footwork. Am I throwing the ball?
The intro to the movie.
Oh yeah,
that was the whole game for Chief. That was that. It was just
my God.
Well, go ahead, Thurman.
Well, I can't wait till next week.
NFL season's over.
NFL season's over. The dramatization.
The All-Star game is this weekend for the NBA, so at least we're going to transition to the NBA. So I hope
we got a little bit of time.
I hope we have a great NBA All-Star weekend.
We're not.
You know why? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I think there's hope. Because it's in Golden State, and so I'm hoping that Steph Curry in the locker room, like, listen, guys, I understand for years we've been a shit show, but you guys are in my hometown. As far as not,
but they're playing 3-on-3.
Okay, whoa!
I'm not,
what?
Yeah, they're not playing each versus. They're playing tournament style basketball. Because nobody wants, because they gave us shitty product.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't care what you give them. My question is, would you care? And that's my problem with.
And it's not the money because they offered double the All-Star.
I mean,
last year they doubled it.
I'm tuning in to see what the fuck. Like I'm tuning in to see how this is gonna work. I can't wait.
The dunk contest is not closing out Saturday night anymore.
I thought they took that out.
No, I don't think they took it out. It's just it's not closing the night like it used to be. So it'd be like before the shootout. The skills or something is going to be closing, or the 3-point shot is going to be closing the night now. So. Because the thing
I'm ready.
Here's the thing. My thing is that it's not about what the format is. My problem is, do you care? Because you can put it back to East or West. If you put it back to that, my question is, do you care? I don't want to see a layup line. I don't want to see 200 versus 201. You know what I'm saying? So I think that because it's in Golden State, I just think that maybe Steph Curry will have a sit down in the locker room and be like, let's take this a little bit serious tonight. Like I understand, we don't play. Let's play like. We play like in the summertime. We're playing against ourselves because we've seen videos.
Nah, we've seen them go crazy in that fucking the black foot, the black.
If you guys can go hard in the summertime against each other, then why couldn't you put a little bit of effort into any All-Star format? So that's my only. So hope with being in Golden State.
What do you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Do you like how the NBA All-Star format is? Because we're going to talk about it next week. So
let's see how it goes, brother.
Let's see
how it goes.
Well, it's that time of the show where we got to tell people where they can find you. Matt,
Black Obi-Wan on Twitter.
Hyman_V on PSN, Hyman, TikTok, and IG.
And you know the deal. Up and Level Productions. So. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We already went over that. The notification bells. Yeah, we got that. Yeah. So, Thurman at Up and Level Productions. Don't forget, sports brings out us together like no other entity. Let's celebrate it, not hate. It's all about the many opinions, and we get to celebrate the moments that live in infamy. Take care of each other, and let's stay up and level.
Let's go Eagles! Let's go Eagles! Yeah!
Yo, peace and blessings. Thank you for watching Up and Level. This is your boy Fabito. If you like this show, you like the sports edition, like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Peace.